That said, we're extremely realistic, and I'm very objective about that business, and there have been some disappointments. We would have liked some of our more recent releases to have performed better.
Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing well. In a time period when it is becoming difficult to keep supporting Disney's woke agenda, I'm trying to talk about the necessity of the concept that is getting suffocated under some extremism of ideals. Yes, I'm talking about the importance of female filmmakers and the potential a retelling of fairy tales carry. To support my case, I'm going to talk about two movies that aim at debunking stereotypes, and one of them successfully does it, and the other one ends up reinforcing it. So, here we go, comparing Shrek and Maleficent and how they try to debunk stereotypes. Fairy tales have been a part of pop culture for centuries, and they have had a significant impact on shaping societal norms and values. However, the portrayal of female characters in these stories has often been criticized for perpetuating gender stereotypes and promoting a patriarchal structure. Women in fairy tales are frequently depicted as passive and powerless, waiting for a male savior to rescue them. In recent years, there has been an increasing focus on retelling fairy tales from a feminist perspective to challenge these stereotypes and provide more diverse and inclusive portrayals of women in pop culture. Let's talk about Shrek first. The movie Shrek is a comedic animation that tells the story of an ogre named Shrek who sets out on a quest to save his swamp from being overrun by fairy tale creatures. Throughout the movie, the characters challenge many stereotypes, especially gender stereotypes, but it ends up reinforcing the norms of patriarchy. Let me tell you how. One of the central themes of Shrek is the idea that women need men to make their story complete. The idea is perpetuated through the character of Princess Fiona, who is initially portrayed as a typical damsel in distress. She is trapped in a tower guarded by a fire-breathing dragon, waiting for a prince to come and rescue her. When Shrek and Donkey arrive to save her, Fiona is initially hesitant to leave because she believes that Shrek is not the prince she's been waiting for. However, once she learns that Shrek is on a quest to save his swamp, she agrees to accompany them on their journey. Throughout the movie, Fiona is portrayed as a strong and independent woman who can hold her own in a fight. However, despite her strength, she still needs a man to complete her story, and it is fully established when she falls in love with Shrek and decides to stay with him in his swamp. Not only that, even the fire-breathing dragon is tamed by the flirting words of the donkey. In her article Feminism with Small F, novelist Buche Macheta argues against the notion that men should be the ultimate goal in a woman's life. According to Macheta, men do play a role in women's lives, but they are not essential for women's fulfillment. However, the movie Shrek fails to challenge this convention. We can also see that despite efforts to refute it, the movie also upholds the belief that one's appearance is the most significant component of who they are. At first, Princess Fiona is shown as a stunning princess with blonde hair and blue eyes who is desired by all the princes in the world. When Shrek meets the princess for the first time, he is disgusted by how she looks and is determined to finish his task and going back to his swamp. Fiona's transformation into an ogre and closer resemblance to Shrek's looks are the only things that cause him to consider her as a prospective love interest. The movie uses several fairy tale characters to subvert traditional stereotypes but still falls short in certain areas. For example, the movie presents Robin Hood as a flamboyant and effeminate figure who is more focused on his looks than his actions. Don't you think this endorses the perception that guys who are interested in fashion or who cares about their looks are not real men according to the existing patriarchal norms? I can understand that Shrek is a lighthearted movie and it has a lot of entertainment value. I first watched this movie as a kid and I really enjoyed it. But that is also my point. I watched it as a kid. What we watch as a kid has a lot of significance in shaping our belief system. All these portrayals play into the existing norms of patriarchy, where men are expected to be strong and assertive, while women are expected to be nurturing and submissive. Now, let's talk about Maleficent. It's a modern day retelling of the story The Sleeping Beauty. The film explores many gender stereotypes through its portrayal of Maleficent's character and her relationship with Stefan and Aurora. Maleficent's transformation from a kind-hearted fairy to a vengeful witch is portrayed as a result of the trauma and the pain that she experiences when Stefan betrays her. The loss of her wings represents not only her loss of physical power but also the loss of her freedom and agency. Maleficent's transformation is a metaphor for the way in which women can be marginalized and oppressed by patriarchal societies and systems. The film also challenges the idea of a witch. It is often used as a symbol of evil and shows how this trope has been used to vilify women throughout history. Maleficent's transformation from a fairy to a witch is not portrayed as a sign of her inherent wickedness, but rather as a result of the societal and personal factors that led her to become what she is. The film portrays Maleficent as a complex and multifaceted character who is not purely good or evil. She is a character who is capable of both love and hate, kindness and vengeance, and whose actions are motivated by her experiences and emotions. Maleficent's relationship with Aurora, the young princess whom she curses, also challenges gender stereotypes in significant ways. The film shows that women can have different types of relationships beyond those traditionally portrayed in fairy tales. Maleficent's love for Aurora is portrayed as a motherly love rather than a romantic one. The sequence in which a boy's kiss fails to wake Aurora but Maleficent's kiss ultimately saves her shows that there are different types of love beyond romantic love and that women are not always helpless victims in need of rescue by a man. The scene in which Maleficent tries to lift the curse that she has placed on Aurora is a particularly powerful moment in this film.
I will not ask your forgiveness, because what I have done to you is unforgivable.
Maleficent shows her vulnerability and pain as she tries to undo the harm that she has caused. It sits well with the theme of redemption and how it is possible for people to change and grow even after committing terrible acts. To sum it up, it can be said that Maleficent can easily be the story of any woman, and therefore, it is a story that needed to be told. In the 1970s, the concept of écriture féminine emerged in France as a literary theory and style of writing that challenged patriarchal norms and promoted female empowerment through the use of language as a tool. The feminist writer Helen Sixou coined the term in her essay The Laugh of Medusa. In the context of the comparison between Shrek and Maleficent, the use of écriture féminine is particularly relevant in analyzing the portrayal of female characters and their agency within the narratives. While Shrek is written by Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, Joe Tillman, Roger Schulman, Maleficent is written by a woman, Linda Wolverton, and directed by a man, Robert Stromberg. When evaluating the manner in which gender stereotypes are contested or reinforced in these films, this difference in authorship is crucial. The use of écriture féminine in Maleficent by Linda Wolverton offers a powerful feminist critique of traditional fairy tale narratives and patriarchal power structures. In contrast, the male-dominated production of Shrek fails to deliver on debunking gender stereotypes because it lacks the perspective and the empathy necessary to understand the experiences of a woman. So, this is it. Tell me what is your take on écriture féminine. Let me know in the comments. Until the next time, thank you, take care.